Hello ladies and gentlemen, SeKo Gincraft here, bringing you some more Starcraft replays. Bringing you something a little bit different. This is a Bronze League game a friend of mine gave to me to take a look at. So I figured I'd do some mini-series here on really basic Bronze League kind of actions, just to give people at a very low level a little bit of advice and tips on how to kind of improve. So we're going to go through here. I'll pause once in a while just to try to help people out with what's going on. Right away, one thing I will notice, if you are playing Zerg at this point, if you got your Overlord in your base, make use of it. The good places to send it are to the corners of the bases where the Terran player cannot snipe them down, and you can use them to scout later. So that should already be off across the map. If we look at the Zerg player right now, he's going for a 10 pool, and he is supply blocked. He was supply blocked, and he wasn't building an Overlord. So he's either going to be going for some really early aggression with this. There's his Overlord. Or it's just a little bit off time for what he wants to do. I know that this is my friend IllmadicW, William at the top. He's going for a gas into barracks. It's a build that I was talking to him about to help him get out an earlier factory for early pressure. Something very important to note is that if you're going for these kind of attack-based production facilities, where did he even send that new Overlord? If you're going for these attack-based production facilities and tech-based production, is that you should have some sort of plan to attack with them. If not, what you should be investing into is economy. Getting out more drones, getting up hatcheries, things like that. So the pool is finished. We just had a big swell of drones come out from him now. And we'll see. No, is he going to go for a crawler? I'm going to pause for a second. This is classic, very low league kind of play. You're afraid of early Reapers or a couple of Hellions or something like that, so you're going to get a crawler. The problem with this is not only is this in a terrible position where it can't defend anything if Reapers come in, but it really serves no purpose. If you had sent a drone across the map to see what was going on and got into the base, you'd see, well, he's just getting down a barracks and a tech lab. So he might be going for Reapers. So what are my best options at this point? You're going to need either speedlings, so you need gas to be able to get up speedlings, or you're going to need to get out roaches. Having a crawler at the front will not save you at all from doing anything like that. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of scouting, and even my buddy Will here hasn't scouted yet. We'll see what his plan is coming after that point. So cut the crawler and actually think about how you're going to understand what's coming at you. Oh, see, we do have Will scouting now after his barracks. I did tell him that this was a wise thing to do, because he used to never scout either. He just have a plan in his mind, and as a bronze, silver, even sometimes platinum league player, you tunnel vision a lot on what you're trying to do, and it holds you back. If we look at Will right now, lots of minerals, lots of gas, so he should be getting up his orbital command. I'll pause again. 400, either you should be getting down a command center, your orbital command, or your factory. He's got enough money right now to get a factory, an orbital command, and actually a marine at this point in time. Lots of money he's just not spending. If we look at the Zerg player, he's getting another crawler, 2 links, and a queen. So only thing I could assume is that the powder suffers a lot from early game cheese and harassment at the lower leagues. So anyways, keep track of your money, know what you're going to do with it. Down goes the factory. Come on, William. You know this. You know this. Orbital command. Come on, buddy. You got this. Anyway, scout coming in. It's going to get shot down pretty fast by this crawler. So, we're going to pause for a second. What did Will see from this? He saw lings. He saw at least one crawler, and he can assume that's a second. He saw no expansion. And a pool. Now, normally if you saw the pool, no expansion, and no crawlers, and just lings, you could assume pressure is coming. That this guy's going to attack you. Because you see 2 crawlers, you say, well, I'm pulling against a newbie kind of guy. I should be able to expand safely, and probably just get down a bunker to deal with this. Because that's 200 minerals invested, 250 with the lings, into stuff that really isn't helping him at all right now. Orbital commands on the way. Factories happening. Marine at the front. Get him behind your wall. This, if you're not, there you go, wall up. If you are not going to be doing anything specific and you're playing against Zerg, just keep your wall up. You have no reason not to. Otherwise, somebody can run in with 20 speed links and you just die, and it sucks. We'll go back to everybody's vision. We look at the Zerg player, units-wise. He's ahead in workers because William has not been keeping up with producing workers. Keep building workers. You can always afford it in the early game. You've got mules to drop. Keep building those up. William's getting ahead in his supply right now, which is not necessarily critical, but it's nice to keep ahead. You got to keep building those workers. He's going factory starport and Hellions, so it looks like he's going for some sort of Hellion drop. We see massive crawling here at the front. No gas, just drones and crawlers. So I'm not exactly sure what the Zerg player's strategy is. It looks like he's going to go expand, and then maybe move a couple crawlers to the front because he's moving his creep. Hellion's still coming. Good thing for him is he did get the supply depots up that allow him to make sure he's not going to get supply blocked. Starting to get out more SCVs. He's getting another gas. Now, I'm going to pause again. You got to make an understanding what this gas is for. For instance, you're already getting gas from one base. You're moving into tanks or something, that's great, but you're not making anything right now that takes a lot of gas other than your medevac. So it'd be more wise to say that I'm either going to go for a one base big strategy or start to macro up. That's why scouting is so important, to know what strategy you should take. He is hitting his injects, which is nice. Building another crawler at the front. A Terran isn't going to walk up the front of your ramp very often with a bunch of Marines and kill you. He's usually going to drop behind here and slaughter you, run in Reapers and slaughter you, or come down here and cancel your base because your defenses are up here. And even a Spore. So this is why once in a while drop a scan. I love scanning right here because you're going to see if a base is going down, and this is usually where a player is going to keep his army, either on his ramp to block run-bys or at this ramp as well. So it's always worthwhile to maybe throw down a scan once in a while to see what's going on, or sacrifice another SCV. Speaking of SCVs, William is still trying to produce out. He's almost level with his opponent. We see he's going Hellion into Banshee. Very interesting play. The delayed Banshee can sometimes be really effective. We see Powder supply blocked here, so if we look at his units, production tab, he's not building any more right now. Happily, he keeps trading supply for crawlers to be able to make more stuff. William's coming around. You can use your boost to move across the map faster and take advantage of that. At home, he's got 4 Marines. That should be good to deal with most things. He's got an armory out, so it looks like he wants to get into Hellbats. And he's queuing up a whole bunch of SCVs with a supply block. At least he's mindful of his SCVs. Drop is positioned over here. That's fine. This is a great place to rally your drop. I'll pause for a second. At a lower level, you might not know exactly what's going on, or you don't want to send it into the base and maybe run into a crawler. So what you do is you can actually just rally. If you hold shift and you click around the map, out the outside of the mini-map, and aim right outside of the map. So that way you can always come back down here and grab it. I recommend putting your medevac or your drop on its own hotkey. I like 0 or 9, something like that, because that means you can always remember and get to it fast, and it won't interfere with the rest of your normal hotkeys. Once again, the Zerg player has no actual defenses protecting his valuable components. Will's dropping outside of knowing what's going on. He forgot a Hellion, once again. Now, if this happens to you, and you have delayed reaction speed, you do want to pull your drones. The difficulty with pulling your drones is that they're going to line up for the Hellions. Happily, this guy's got used to have crawlers. He doesn't have his crawlers. Moved them to the front, like I said. Yes, wow. Don't do that. You don't need that. Anyways, this is a guy who played too much single-player campaign. What you want to be able to do is have these on a hotkey, like he has right now, number 1. So that way it's easy for you to go number 1 and move next to the army and attack it. See, this is where you gotta chase right next to the army. Click right next to it, and then click on a unit. Good hits. Oh, yeah, keep going, William. Nope, click on the units. Not great control out of William. He did get... Okay. If we look at the resources killed, he killed 16 workers, which is sick. Your attacking units will prioritize attacking buildings. So if you want to kill drones, you can't be on hold position. You'll have to click on them individually because they will prioritize on spine crawlers. That was still a great attack from William. He's up by a lot. And now you should think to yourself, this guy's got no drones. What should I do right now? And you also know that he's got crawlers at the front, so you're not going to push into a bunch of Marines. The Banshee is a great call, but you should probably be throwing down an expansion. Maybe getting up to siege tanks to outrange crawlers. And keeping up on your SCV production. Did he get Cloak for his Banshees? No, he did not, which is okay. Cloak is a big investment. He's only got... William, you need to put 3 people in your gas, buddy. Jin. Picked up this really tasty Canadian. Look at the minerals here from both players. Okay, you're a Zerg player. You can get queens. You should be able to spend all that money super fast. If you've got more than 500 or 600 minerals on 2 bases and you can't safely take a third, throw down a macro hatch. Because the macro hatch will help you spend your money faster. Also, a good reason why you keep your medevac in its own hotkey for drops is that you will remember that it is down here and then send it home later. More Banshees. Hellbats. Hellbats super safe. Let's see if he's going to go. He's going to expand on the low ground. I encourage people that if you're going to expand on the low ground at this stage of the game, have down a bunker or some defenses, because it's very easy for him to run in with some speed links and just shoot this down before you can react, and you'll lose 400 minerals. Yeah, start rallying to the front of your base, which is great. This is going to help keep you protected against any run-bys. If we look at him, all he's doing is producing workers. Let's look at I'll probably talk about hotkeys in another episode here, because we're already talking about enough. He did remember his medevac. What you always got to remember to keep doing is keep building SCVs. Units-wise, William's only up to 22. He's at the 10-minute mark. You should be up probably by 40 at this point if you just keep producing them, keeping ahead. So we're going to speed it up here a little bit because it looks like there's a bit of a lull in the action. Is he moving into more? No, reactors. I don't know what William's plan here is. This is very interesting. Lots of Hellbats. Hellbat drops are really effective, particularly if you know your opponent isn't defending. You can drop 2 Hellbats very easy into the mineral line. Does sick damage. He does have queens to do injects, but he's not keeping up on all of them. Alright, so William is super far ahead. His supply is super high. His money is somewhat low. He could use some more production facilities. I am interested to know what his plan here is now that he has this reactor starport. If you're going to going up against Broodlords, sure, do that. But we haven't seen a scout out of William now in quite a while. Really? Well, at least he's protecting this one area of his base. Holy crap! Okay, if you're worried about drops and you're a Zerg player, put creep around your base, but put your spore crawlers in your base, because most people are going to drop near outside of the base anyways and run into the mineral line. What you want to do is shut down any medevacs that are microing over your units. Looks like he is going to go for a Hellbat drop. I'm going to make a statement right now. If you've got all this army and you're not doing anything with it, it's not doing you any good. If you've got all this army, go pressure the front. You've got all of these Banshees to shoot down the crawlers. You can set up a nice like siege up line down here, and you don't even have siege tank. Get your Marines out here. If you got attacking units, use them. Banshees can get away really easy, and they're really safe to be able to go put on pressure to different places. If you get hit by a couple of spores, great, pull back. All you're going to do is get him to commit more into defense. So if you've got attacking units laying around, use them. So he's going for a double Hellbat drop, and we'll see if he actually gets away with it here. The other reason why you don't build spore crawlers on the edge of your base is it costs too much money, and you can always boost past them. William is... he's building some SCVs. He could be building them faster. He's got 2 command centers to do that. He is keeping his money low. A 3rd command center might be wise. A really good statement to make is that at the lower levels, what is going to separate you from Bronze League and like Platinum League is your macro mechanics. how well you can build an economy, how well you can build production, and how much you can build it. If you can just trade armies, let's see where his scan went. He scans, no crawlers at the front. He's going to boost in, really smart. That way if there was crawlers, he'd get past it. If you've got Hellbats, drop into the mineral line. Don't drop behind the mineral line because you'll run away. You can just park them at the mineral line. Just leave them there. That's fine too. You can put out some damage. I mean, what's he going to do really? If he's going to attack with anything but roaches, he's just going to lose them. The medevacs heal Hellbats. He might lose one. He lost one. And this guy's going to lose all of his queens. Behind this, still building units. You'll see that William's getting really out of control with his money. So is the Zerg player. But the Zerg player, once again, this guy's very new. You can tell that he's super new at this game. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Zerglings do not work against Hellbats with medevac support. Looks like William is seeing this. He is spending his money behind this. He's got his hotkey set up to keep building units, which is really, really nice. You should be able to kill off that crawler before it does anything. Also, if you're playing in very low league games like Bronze, come on, William, control your units. That was a little unfortunate. Once again, your units will prioritize on attacking buildings. If he had ran back here with his Hellbats and put them on hold position, they would have lived the rest of the game. They would have been just fine. He's got tons of Banshees behind here, still not doing anything. He got himself supply blocked again finally after a while. Uses his mules, he's about to have a ton of bank. His main base is starting to get mined out. It's important to start thinking about your next base. While you're attacking, it's always the best time to consider expanding. The pressure is on the opponent. Very easy to go back and do that. What I was about to say is that very low league players, bronze and silver and platinum players, won't leave the game very often. Like, this guy's been losing for 20 minutes and he hasn't left the game. So you really have to decisively win. If you know there's a bunch of crawlers, build some siege tanks. Oh, excuse me. Gin burps. Still building SCVs. I gotta give him props for that. Oh, no, mouse, come back. His upgrades. He's got the upgrade facilities and he hasn't used them yet at all. He's got the money to afford it. 33 workers. Probably could be double that by now and be done with it. He's built this starport he's not used at all. Double command center. At least he's doing that, which is nice. But if you don't have any plan for this, just as this player's building all these spore crawlers in anticipation of something that may never come, building things when you don't need them yet, at least he's building that. He's going air Terran, which is hilarious. Having a a Raven's really nice to clear out creep. Looks like he's just going to push in for the win here. Nothing fancy about it. He does have the medevacs to keep things alive. No upgrades on these units, but it shouldn't matter. He's just going to crush through this, and that'll be the end of it. Ah, yes. Moving into the worker line. It's nice having some Marines with your army. Do so much damage really fast, and if he managed to get Mutalisks out, you'd be fine. And the guy leaves the game. I'll pause it. Big lessons you want to take away from this game. 1. Giant piles of static defenses don't help you. That doesn't matter. Like, if it's late in the game and you keep losing to it, it's fine. Build a couple spores and spines, you'll deal with most things. Static defenses will not replace having roaches or Zerg speedlings or something else like that. Those having mobile units is almost always better. If you're building an army, you've got to use it for something. I know that he's building up to push out an attack, but if you don't really see yourself attacking soon, build up your economy. Keep building up your economy. So the things you always want to keep doing, keep building SCVs, keep building economy, and don't build a bunch of static defenses like this in the early game that cost him so many drones, so many minerals, and he never built any attacking units. No roaches, no zerglings. So there wasn't at any point in this game where you could put pressure back on the Terran player. Bronze League game, if you guys like me doing this kind of action, if you guys are enjoying me giving some tips and tricks for very, very basic level players, let me know. I'm going to try a few more of them. hopefully you guys enjoy it, and give you some comments and feedback if you guys are learning stuff from what I'm saying here. Until next time, SeKo Starcraft, we'll talk to you guys soon.